and welcome you all to my channel. So for today we are going to make a simple video on how to cut 6 pieces skirts. If this is your first time of coming to my channel, thanks a lot. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, like, share and subscribe. So today I'm going to be showing you guys one amazing method to cut 6 pieces skirts where you don't need or it's not necessary for you to divide your measurements by 6. I know you guys are surprised, so stay to the end to discover this method. So that the basic measurements required, we have our waist measurement, hip measurement and our skirt length. So our waist measurement is 30. We have 30 plus 2 divided by 4 plus 2. We have 10 inches. So these 2 inches we have is for our dart allowance and the other 2 inches we have is for our sewing allowance. So our hip plus 2 divided by 4 plus 1, we have 10.5. Why do we have plus 1 here? Is because your dart allowance doesn't get to your hip measurement. So we have our skirt length to be 34 inches. So plus 2 inches we have 36 inches. Don't forget I said you are not dividing your measurement by 6. So for today's video, I'm putting on this double layered top. You guys can see. So I made this video here on this channel. I'm going to go ahead and link it down below in case you want to make something simple like this. So now let's move to the fabric. So what are the basic material required? We have our pair of scissors, a tape measure, a tape, our pen, piece of ruler and of course our pattern master. So this pattern master is available at our store. We have it in a complete set, and what I love about this pattern master is it's flexible, so it doesn't break. You guys, you can see it. So now the first thing we are going to do now is to draft our basic skirt, just like the way you draft your pencil skirt. So the first thing we'll mark now is our waist measurement. Our waist measurement is 10 inches. We mark our waist measurement to be 10. So this is our waist. From your waist to your upper hip, waist to upper hip is 6 inches. Waist to your lower hip is 8 inches. And because our skirt measurement is 36 inches, 34 inches before you add your sewing allowance to it. So 34 divided by 2, you have about you divide it into 2, you have about 17 inches. That is your skirt length divided by 2, you have 17 inches. So you come up with about 1 inch or 1.5 inches. It actually depends on where you want it to start from. So my measurement is 34 divided by 2, we have 17. So I'll come up with 1.5. So I have 15.5 inches. So divide your own measurement by 2 to have where you will start yours from. So I will go ahead and extend this line. 6 inches for our upper hip, 8 inches for the lower hip, 15.5 inches. So I'll do the same all the way down. So after that, I will go ahead to connect the lines together. So after connecting the lines together, you label it. Don't forget we have our upper hip, lower hip, your knee measurement. This is your knee measurement and this is our top, our skirt length. So this is what we have. So you go ahead now and mark your dart. So for our dart, we have 4 inches. So you mark your dart from your waistline to our upper hip. That is where your dart line should end. Your dart line shouldn't extend to your lower hip. So we have 4 inches. I'll come all the way 4 inches. Mark your dart line just like the way you mark for your pencil skirt, okay? So after that, I'll go ahead and connect all the lines together. So this is what we have. So the next thing we have to do now is to mark our dart at our upper hip. So we mark ½ inch on both sides. At your waist measurement, you mark ½ inch on both sides. half inch on both sides. Don't forget that on our measurements we added 2 inches to our waistline. Okay, so this is it. This is your dart. You connect it to your upper hip. Your dart shouldn't extend to your lower hip. So now you take your basic measurement. Our waist is 10 inches. Our hip measurement, you now mark your hip measurement at your lower hip. Our hip measurement is 10.5 inches. So you come to your knee measurement because it has to have a shape. So you come to your knee measurement, we have 10.5. You deduct 1 inch from your knee measurement, so we have 9.5. So you can deduct either 1 inch or 1.5 inches. It depends on how curvy you want it to be. So I'll go ahead with my pattern master. I'll connect my waistline to my hip line together, and I'll connect it to my knee measurement. And of course we marked 9.5 inches, so you come to your skirt length and mark your 9.5 inches and connect the lines together. And connect your lines together. So this is what we have basically. Okay, so now what we are going to do now is I'm going to cut this out. This is for the front block. I'm going to show you guys how to get it for the back block also. So we are going to cut this out. So this is what we have for the front block. Okay, we have our dart. Don't forget to mark half inch and cut it out at that edge. So this is what we have for our front block. I'm going to set that aside. So now let's get the back block also. So the first thing we have to do is to extend all these lines. So your measurements, your back measurements and your front measurements are going to be equal. So you extend all your lines. So you take your zip allowance. So our zip allowance is 1 inch. We are making use of 1 inch for our zip allowance. So I'll go ahead and mark 1 inch all the way down. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please kindly do so. Click on that button. It's free and you can join us for training. I'm going to put down the details down below. So you mark your 1 inch for your zip allowance. After marking your 1 inch, you connect the lines together. So we mark our basic measurement. Don't forget that this is our waist measurement. We have here to be our waist measurement, our upper hip, lower hip, and our knee measurement. So you come to your waist now. Let's mark our darts. We're also going to mark our darts all the way down. So we mark 4 inches for our dart line. You mark your 4 inch all the way down. After marking your 4 inch all the way down, I will go ahead and connect these lines together. So you go ahead and mark your darts. We have half inch on both sides, just like the way we did for the front block. You connect your dart line to your upper hip. Connect your dart line to your upper hip. So after that, next thing you have to do now is to mark your basic measurements. So for our waist measurements, we have 10 inches. For our waist measurements, we have 10 inches. So I'll go ahead and mark 10 inches for my waist measurement. 10 inches. For our hip measurement, we have 10.5 inches. We mark 10.5 as our hip measurement. Always mark it at your lower hip, 10.5. So as your knee point, we deducted 1.5 inch. So we marked 9.5. That is 1 inch. We marked 9.5 inches. So you come down to your skirt length and you maintain the same 9.5 inches. So when you are done with that, you go ahead and connect the lines together with your pattern master. So the next thing you have to do after when you've connected your lines together, you come to your upper hip, your lower hip, you deduct you can deduct half inch, you can deduct 3/4 inch, it depends on you. So we are going to deduct half inch. Now the reason for you to deduct this half inch is just to give your skirt fitting at the back. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and cut this out and show you guys how you will use your basic skirt block to derive your 6 pieces skirt. So don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, like, subscribe to my channel, drop your questions or your topics down below at the comment section. Okay, so this is what you have for your front block and for your back block. So you go ahead and label it. We have the front, this is our center fold, this is the side. You have your back block, your side, and your zip. So when you label it, it makes you not to get confused along the line. So the next thing you have to do now, you are going to do now is to take your tape, any tape, okay? So you close up your dart. This is the front block, this is the back block. So now let's close up the dart for the front block first, because we want to use this to get our 6 pieces skirt. So you close up your dart. I'm just making use of a tape, okay? I hope you guys can see it. You can use either paper tape, any tape you can find around you. So you close the dart also for the back with your tape. Use your tape to close up the dart. So you've closed up your dart, okay? So now what we are going to do now is, let me set the back block aside so you won't get confused. So for this front block, after when you've closed up your dart, you are going to go ahead and open it up, okay, at this our dart line. So go ahead, open it up this way. Be very careful. So you are going to open it up, and because you've closed your dart line, it makes it easy for you to cut a straight point, okay? So you retape it just to secure it back again. You tape it just to secure it back. So we have 2 pieces now, and we are heading to 3 pieces. Of course, you know, for 6 pieces skirt, you have 3 pieces for the front block, and you have 3 pieces for the back block. So what you are going to do now is to introduce your panel to your basic block. So you introduce your panel to your basic block starting from your knee measurement. So you measure what you have from your knee point, to your skirt length. So I have about 20 inches. From my knee point to my skirt length, I have 20 inches. So what I'm going to do now is so we have about 20 inches. So what you are going to do now is to introduce another pattern paper. So you place your front block. Don't forget that this is the center fold. We've opened it up into 2. You place your front block this way. At your knee point, you tape it. You tape it just to secure it together. So basically for this method, you're only going to be needing more of taping, okay? That is what you're going to be needing, just more of taping to tape it. Tape it together and make sure it's secured. So after taping it together, what you are going to do now is to determine how many inches you want for your panel, okay? How many inches you want for your extension. So you can make use of 5 inches, 6 inches, 7 inches. It depends on 1, the amount of fabric you are working with, 2, how full you want it to be. So let's say we are going for 6 inches, 6 inches is okay. So at this skirt length, I mark 6 inches. I'm going for 6 inches. So I mark 6 inches. So when you mark your 6 inches, from your knee length, look at what I'm doing now. From your knee length, you draw a straight line this way. You draw a straight line to connect it to your knee measurement. Okay, to connect it to your knee measurement. So basically this is what you have for your extension. You just tape it together. You mark, if it's 6 inches you want, you connect it to your knee measurement. Why? Because your measurement, you want your 6 pieces extensions to start from your knee measurement. So I'll go ahead and cut it out. So don't forget that this maintains this, let it still be at your skirt length. So this is what you have. So you can see it already. You already have one block, and because you've labeled it, this is your front, your center front. You want it to also flow at the front. Okay, so you face it this way this time around. You want to get the extension for both sides. You face it this way. When you face it this way, I will go ahead and tape it. So after taping it, we made use of 6 inches, right? So you mark your extension 6 inches. Note that whatever inch you start with, that is what you are going to end it with. So we have 6 inches. You extend it to your knee length. But this your knee length must be, pointed. You extend it this way to your 6 inches. And you maintain your skirt length. So this is what you have. You just like cutting triangle. Is it triangle? Just like cutting triangle. So I'll go ahead and cut this out. This is very simple. You can see you didn't divide your measurement by 6. So for those of you that find it, and the truth is this method makes it to really stand out. It makes it to be really full. So look at what we have. Give this video a thumbs up. Okay, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, like, share. So this is what we have now. You can see the first panel. So this is the side, this is the side, this is our center fold, this is the side. The two like this gives us our front block. Hope you guys know. So we're going to set this aside now. Now for the other side, you are not joining to the side, you are only joining your extension to your dart line. So let's keep this aside and do the same for this. So for the other panel, let me just explain it in details. Okay, so for the other panel for the front, you've divided it into 2. Don't join to the side. We're not joining to the side. The reason why we joined the front block at the 2 sides is because this is the front, the middle block. But for the side, you only join to the dart line. So this is our dart line. We do the same thing again. We mark our 6 inches. So you do the same. You mark your 6 inches, and then you connect the line to your knee measurement, making sure that your knee point is pointed. Okay, you're not having excess at your knee point. So you connect it this way to give us a triangle shape, and you extend your skirt length. So I will go ahead. This is what we have. So basically it's just you joining extension to your basic block to give you your 6 pieces skirt. So this is what you have now. Let me show you what you have for the front block. So for the front, you have this with your extension, and for the side, because you're going to join it this way, Wow. So for the front block, this is what you have. By the time you cut this out, this is your center piece. So you're cutting 2 of this side. you're cutting two of this side on your fabric. So you have this on the center fold. You can see we label this center fold, the way you open up your pencil skirt, and you cut two of your side. So by the time you have two of this side, it also give you the third block. And one thing about this method, look at the down, you can see it's very full even without adding up the third side. So for us to get the third side, I'm going to use this side to cut another block. This side, not your center piece. You cut two of your sides, okay? So one advantage of this method is it makes your skirt to be very full. Look at the down block, because the number of extension you add determine how full it will be. So what we just did was that for this side, you cut two of this side to give you 1, 2, 3 panels for the front block, okay? So you guys, look at how full your downside is going to be. This is the method that makes your downside of your 6 pieces to be very full. So by the time you have your skirt like this, you've cut the first panel for your skirt, the second panel, the third panel, and then you join it together. You have a very full side like this. So we are going to go ahead and do the back block. So give this video a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. So this is what we have for the back block. So the first thing you have to do now is to open up this dot line. So we are going to open up this dot line, and for this zip part, you are going to cut two of these zip parts because you have to add your zip to this point. So you cut two of these zip parts and two of these sides. You know, for your 6 pieces, the back is always 4 pieces because of your zip. So we open up this line and let's start adding our gadget to it. So when you want to cut your fabric, what we just did was we added our gadget, our extension of 6 inches, 6 inches, just like the way you did for your front piece. So when you want to cut your fabric, you are going to cut 2 of your zip allowance and 2 of your side, okay, to give you a total of 4 and for you to have your 3 piece. And just look at how full the down part is. So by the time you have your 2 piece for the side of your fabric, 2 piece for your zip side, you have a very beautiful and a flowing 6 pieces skirt. And so for the front panel, this is what we have. So many extensions. So if you want it to be full. So thanks for watching this video. I hope this video has helped you a lot. If it has, don't forget to give this video